I'm going to invite you to join me in a little experiment that is essentially an opportunity to see your true power, to truly understand, see with your eyes and feel in your own body that you are the creator of the life that you're living, and that you have the power to direct your experience. So before I tell you the experiment, I just want to remind us of some truths that I think we both know deep down that relate to this experiment. So the first one is that the world essentially is a mirror of our internal life, basically. So when we are tense and contracted, that energy is what we're going to receive from the world around us. So I know that can sometimes feel a bit like a criticism, like what's wrong with you? You're creating your own shit. But it's just a fact. We can sort of depersonalize this by just kind of likening it to, when you flick on a light switch, the light comes on. There's the cause, flicking the switch, and the effect, the light comes on. So we're just talking about the law of cause and effect, not that there's anything wrong with us or that we're doing something wrong. It's just a recognition that our internal life is reflected back to us through our interactions with people, through our experience, essentially. So if we talk about the law of cause and effect, the cause is essentially us being overly attached to our thoughts and to our emotions, which creates resistance within us. Oftentimes, if there are things that we don't like and we're having thoughts about them, we're having emotional reactions to them, and we're not seeing that actually there's like a separation between us and our thoughts and our emotions. So we are overly attached to them, overly identified with them. And that attachment affects our mental and our verbal and our physical actions in ways that create misery. So that's the first thing. So the world is a mirror of our internal life. And the second point is around resistance. So the attachment that creates the misery is due to resistance. So resisting the state of things in one way or another. And the point here is that the things that we are resisting have no objectively real basis. The things we are resisting have no objectively real basis. They are ephemeral objects with a bunch of concepts and ideas stuck to them. We're experiencing basic objects through the lens of our own stuff, basically. So the things that we are resisting have no objectively real basis. And the third point, before we get onto the little experiment, is that when you say yes to life, so essentially when you release resistance to objects, so when I say objects, it could be situations, people, ideas, whatever, essentially all phenomena. When you say yes to life, life says yes to you. Like, that is a fact. So here's a little experiment. So we want to create more inner freedom. We want to live life with more ease. So my invitation is that you join me for one whole day. So that could be today if you're listening to this in the morning or in the early afternoon, or it could be tomorrow. Let's say you're listening to this in the evening and your decision is that from tomorrow onwards, or for the whole of tomorrow, you're going to try this. And what are you going to try? Essentially, saying yes to everything. So noticing where you are saying no, noticing where there is attachment to thoughts and emotions and interpretations. Notice where you are resisting things. With a dash of playfulness, I might add, so we're not being all serious, like, let's have fun with this. So notice where you're resisting with a playfulness and choose to say yes to whatever it is that you're resisting. So if you get a parking ticket and you notice there's resistance, say yes. If there's no bread for your breakfast, say yes. If you get an email that triggers the crap out of you, notice that. Accept the sensations, the emotions, and still say yes to that thing, i.e. don't reject it. Don't start spinning tales of why this is such a terrible thing that should not be. And if saying yes feels hard, just start by saying yes to your emotions. If this is too much of a leap or it doesn't make sense yet, just start with your emotions. So saying yes to how you feel. So if you feel triggered by something, just say yes, like I allow. This is okay. It's okay to feel this. So just starting to build up your kind of muscle, your yes muscle. Okay, so that's it. So notice where there is a no, where there is resistance, where there is attachment. You know what it feels like when you are resisting, when you are saying no. And just see that playfully as an opportunity. This is what I'm resisting. This is where resistance is active in me. And therefore this is where I get to change gears. I get to play this game of saying yes. And notice how saying yes instead of no feels in your body. Like, how does it shift the energy in your body? And see what else happens, what else changes as a result of you saying yes. If it's not clear, saying yes is essentially releasing the resistance and just allowing whatever it is to exist and meeting it with a certain sense of willingness, like, fuck it, yeah. So you can say yes out loud, you can say yes in your head, or you can just meet whatever it is that you're resisting with a willingness, with an openness. So notice where you're saying no. Say yes instead, and just see what happens. When you say yes to life, life says yes to you. I've been experimenting and the results are astonishing. Alright, so have fun with this, and I'd love to hear what your results are. Alright, thank you for listening.